Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, check it out. I have a message I want to share with y'all that God shared with me. It's going to be coming from the book of Luke, chapter number 5, verse number 8. And when God first gave me this message, I really did not want to share it. I guess because of fear of what people would think or what people would say. But I can't hold it because it's the truth. And if we being honest, if we were to be honest with ourselves, we find ourselves doing this a lot. And one thing I will say is that the reason why I chose to go to this particular text is because I've preached this particular text before. And the message that I got out of it the first time, not saying that it was a wrong message, but I didn't get what I got now when I preached it the first time. And when I went back and went over what I read and what God showed me, it was very interesting. So the book of Luke, chapter number 5, verse number 8 says this. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus's knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." And if I had to put a title or title this particular text, I would probably title it, "God Blesses Sinners Too." That's good, right? I know. God blesses sinners too, man, because a lot of times what too many Christians, and this is the thing about Christians that I don't like. I will have to say this. Too many Christians judge too much. Too many Christians are quick, man, they are quick to point the finger and point out everybody else is wrong, but won't acknowledge they're wrong, as Peter did here in the text. Peter didn't look at everybody else and was like, well, look. Peter said, "No, Lord, go away from me. I'm a sinful man." And we'll get into the text about why he said that. He said, "Lord, I am a sinful man. Get away from me." But too many Christians, instead of owning up to their wrong and judging themselves first, seeing the plank in their eye first, they're so quick to notice the speck in everybody else's eye, right? And that's where I believe so many Christians go wrong. And then what a lot of times, what a lot of Christian folk would do is they'll look at somebody else and they'll say, "Man, they living like that and they got all that. They living like this and they got all this." Well, the thing about it is, just because a person is living a certain way to you, it may not be wrong to God. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm God and I just know. No, I'm not saying that. But how do we know if a certain lifestyle that a person is living is right or wrong to God? We don't know that. And if we allow God and only God, the God of everything, the God who created all things, the God who created time itself, if we allow God to be the ultimate judge, even if these people are living a life that is not pleasing to him, let's let him make that call. Let's let him make that decision. Instead, what we should focus more so on is fixing ourselves first for God. The Bible says this: study to show yourself approved to God, right? ... There's more to that. But the key thing in that verse is this: study to show yourself approved unto God. Don't study to show somebody else approved unto God. Study to show yourself approved unto God. And that's where we mess up. We get so wrapped into looking at how everybody else is living and saying, oh, how they get that and how they get this, to the point where we miss out on all our blessings from God because we're so focused on the wrong thing. So I won't belong to time. I want to be quick about this. In this text, so just a little previously, Jesus had just begun his earthly ministry. And in such a short period of time, Jesus had healed people. He was driving out unclean spirits. He was preaching to the people in synagogues. He was preaching in the streets. He was rebuked by people. He was rejected by people. But in such a short time, Jesus had magnified such a large crowd of people who actually believe his words that it leads up into this text in chapter 5 where Jesus is by a lake and there's a crowd of people around him eager and wanting to hear what he has to say. And so Jesus recognizes that he would need to use something. He would need something. And so he looked out and he saw fishermen fishing, and he asked Simon Peter to use his boat. Now, I want to interject something here as far as him asking Peter to use his boat. And this is a lesson for a whole nother time. But I just got to put this out there because the Spirit just gave it to me. God would never ask you to use something of yours if he don't have plans on filling it. That's good. I know that's good. God would never ask you to use something that's yours, that he gave you, if he don't have plans on filling it. So we'll get into that another time. But anyway, he asked Simon Peter to use his boat as a pulpit, if you will. He wanted to elevate himself so that the people could see him and so that the people could clearly hear him. And so Jesus uses Simon Peter. Simon Peter says, yeah, sure, go ahead. We ain't catching nothing out here anyway. The fish, we can't catch nothing. So here, you can use the boat. Jesus uses his boat and he preaches this sermon. He preaches this sermon to all the people that are listening, and then he sends them off. And as he sends them off, he returns the boat to Simon Peter. Now, Simon Peter and his companions, they were fishing. They had been fishing all day. They had been fishing all night. They had not caught anything. And Jesus told them one thing. He said, launch your nets out into the deep for a drought. Again, Simon Peter, he goes, look here, Lord. I've been doing this all my life. I'm a fisherman. I've been doing this. I know what I'm doing. We ain't caught nothing. But because you said do it, we'll go ahead and catch it. We'll throw our nets in the deep because you said. And here's the key word in all that. Simon Peter said, nevertheless. That's another lesson for another time. That's two different lessons. Man, it's a lot in this text. But I'm gonna stick to subject. God blesses sinners too. So Simon Peter and his companions launched their nets out into the deep, and immediately the nets began to break at how many fish they began to catch, and it had got so surmountable that Simon Peter had to call over his friends to help bring their boat over to help with the fish because their nest was breaking, and the first boat that they was putting all the fish in, the boat started sinking because of all the fish. And then it brings us to our text, verse number 8. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man. And that's why I titled this, God blesses sinners too. Because Peter is accepting his fault. So that's something that a lot of us just don't do. Peter is acknowledging that it ain't my friends, it ain't my family, it ain't mama, it ain't daddy, it ain't sister, it ain't brother, it's me. I'm the sinner. I messed up. I sinned. I did what I was supposed to do. I lived a life that's not pleasing to you. Not nobody else, because I'm not even worried about what nobody else is doing. I'm worried about me. You didn't bless me with all this fish. I ain't caught nothing all night. I've been out here, me and my boys been out here all night, and we ain't caught nothing. But you bless me, a sinful man like me. You bless me with all of this. God blesses sinners. Here in this text, Peter thought himself to be so unworthy of this great blessing he just got. And that's what we have to learn how to work on. We have to learn how to be grateful for the blessings that God give us. The language of his self-denial and his humility is what made Christ smile. The Bible tells us, Matthew 16:24 says this, then Jesus told his disciples, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. We have to learn how to deny ourselves. And the key word in that particular text is ourselves. We have to first deny ourselves. We don't have to not deny mama and daddy and sisters and brother and friend and cut. We have to deny ourselves. You have to deny yourself, pick up your cross and follow Jesus. Now your job ain't to pick up everybody else's cross. Your job ain't to look at everybody else's life and say, oh, they're not doing that right. They're not doing this right. How do you not know that whatever you think is wrong in their life, how do you not know that they're picking it up in following Christ? Because as you pick up that cross, everything that's holding you back and following Christ with that, the more it's going to fall off. Because the more you follow the path that Christ has you on, the more everything else that is not right will fall off of your life. So I think the thing that we should focus on more is ourselves, and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and what type of life everybody else is living. It's not our job. God don't need help. God ain't taking applications. He ain't hiring. God got this. We got to learn how to deny ourselves. And that's why I titled this, God Blesses Sinners Too, because the Bible says when we were yet sinners, Christ died for us, right? That's why Christ died. That's the reason why he died. He died so that we would no longer have to live enslaved to sin. We won't have to be in bondage to sin. We don't have to be held by the chains of sin. That's why he shed his blood. That's why he died. That's why he gave his life as a ransom. That's why it is the sacrificial lamb, so that we don't have to live a life of sin. We could pick up our cross, deny ourselves, and follow him because of what he did on the cross. And that's the gospel. That's the good news. The gospel is Jesus Christ. And that's what makes Jesus smile. When we deny ourselves, when we humble ourselves, when we fall at his feet and say, you know what, Lord, look, I'm messing up. I messed up. I'm a sinful man. And you still blessing me. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve it. And that's what Peter did. He's showing us how to show humility when we're wrong. Even when we're wrong and God continue to bless us, Peter say, man, you didn't bless me. I ain't worthy. And I know a lot of us ain't worthy of the things that God has blessed us with. Look around. If you just stop right where you are and look around, just look around real quick. Just take a moment. Stop right now. Look around where you are, whether you outside, whether you in your house, whether you in your car, whether you at work or wherever you are. Just stop and look around at all the things God has blessed you with. And then take a look at your life and the things that you know, not me, I don't know. You know there's something in your life where Lord, is not right. This is not right. I gotta fix this. How do I fix it? Denying yourself, humbling yourself at Jesus's feet and saying, I am a sinful man. Then Bible says that's when the windows of heaven will open up and God will pour you out a blessing. You won't even have room to receive it. I pray this message helps somebody. I will see you guys in the next one. As always, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. God bless you.